Hey guys, Mosa here, and today I'm bringing you my recap of the Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight, which happened on Sunday. Now, without a further ado, let's get started. Now, when this was announced, honestly, no one thought that this was real. Everyone thought that it was just a ploy, that Floyd isn't really fighting Logan, and Logan isn't fighting Floyd, that this wasn't a thing, by the way. This is something that we all thought was fake. And honestly, we were all surprised to see that it actually came to fruition. Of course, it was scheduled to be earlier this year, but then got pushed back till now. But honestly, it wasn't that good of a fight, more for the entertainment. Of course, the fighters in the fight, they had a lot of fun, but I don't think any of the fans think the same about this fight. Honestly, I think that this fight was the worst thing that came out of boxing this year. Because honestly, yeah, you got big names like Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather. But honestly, we expected Floyd Mayweather to knock out Logan Paul at the least. In any of the rounds, 1st to 8th, we thought he would at least knock him out and honestly give us some entertainment via that. Because there was no way Logan was going to knock out Floyd Mayweather. There was no way. But to be honest, there's some things that you just don't know about. Now, starting off with Logan Paul. He has had 2 boxing matches in his entire career. Logan Paul versus KSI 1 and Logan Paul versus KSI 2. On August 25th, 2018, it was a majority draw for the YouTube World Championship title. And then on November 9th, they fought again, and this time a split decision win for KSI kept his title from being lost to Logan Paul. Logan Paul professionally is 0-1. In his entire career, he's 0-1-1. That is not a good boxing record, but honestly, it's a start. And not everyone starts winning immediately. Yes, even Floyd Mayweather himself lost a few times in his career, but not in boxing matches that were basically not like regular boxing matches. I'm talking about the Olympic matches, but I'll talk to you about that when I get to Floyd. But honestly, Logan does have the wrestling background, which could help him, but honestly, I see that more for UFC rather than boxing. And honestly, he did show some good talent on Fight Night against Floyd Mayweather. But to be honest, I'm going to say this. Logan Paul, you need to improve if you ever want to beat a boxer like Floyd Mayweather. Because you even got, apparently, it was said that Logan Paul had a chance to fight Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champion of the world. And for Jake to fight his brother. He turned that down because he knew he'd lose. And honestly, I say, yeah, you would have probably lost to Tyson Fury. I mean, Tyson Fury's fat, but that guy is the world heavyweight champion for a reason. Because he can beat guys like Deontay Wilder. If he can beat guys like that, who they're saying, oh, has no talent, or at least he's not a good boxer, and still wins boxing matches, even though people are saying this guy ain't good. Well, honestly, Logan Paul, you need to honestly improve. And honestly, I see a great future in boxing for you if you improve more. This was a good fight in the fact that you improved. But still, there's still a lot more Logan Paul needs to do before he comes at least close enough to be a top 10, top 25 boxer in the world. Now, let's move on to the greatest boxer alive, Floyd Mayweather Jr. And yes, I did say alive because he's not the greatest boxer of all time. In my opinion, the late, great Muhammad Ali is the greatest boxer to ever live. And honestly, if there's someone you guys think is better than Muhammad Ali, leave it down in the comments below. I want to know your opinions about that. But in his professional career, he has had 50 wins, 27 by knockout, and 0 losses. He's still technically undefeated professionally, as this was an exhibition match. He's only had 2 in his entire career, one being a draw, which was the against Logan Paul, and then against some Japanese guy, I don't remember his name really, against Nazuku Aqua. I just read that. I do not know if I said it right, but that was back in 2018 when he won by technical knockout. But besides that, then you go and to his notable matches. He fought Manny Pacquiao in 2015 and won by unanimous decision, and then he goes on to beat Canelo Alvarez in 2013. So before he even faced Pacquiao, he won in a majority decision against Canelo. And honestly, that is honestly a great thing, because honestly, afterwards he then in 2017 ended up beating by technical knockout Conor McGregor. Now we all know Conor McGregor is not a good boxer because he's no boxer. He's a great UFC fighter and one of the best. And honestly, I'm going to say this, McGregor is the greatest current, well, not really the greatest current, but the greatest current of the legends that are still like fighting. Like, he could still fight, to be honest, and he could still win. But that's only in the UFC. When it comes to boxing, the dude has no talent in boxing. Even though he did honestly do something to Mayweather, he at least tried. But when it comes to boxing, no. McGregor, no. But regardless of that, he has had those three notable matches, of course. Those are just three. But then he also, in the 60s, went to the Olympics. And honestly, he lost in two matches. One in the qualifiers and one in the Olympics. Against Serafitim Todorov out of Bulgaria in the Olympics. And also losing to Augie Sanchez in the qualifiers. He won the bronze. That means he ended up in third place. Floyd Mayweather, maybe not that good when it comes to the Olympics, but we all know Floyd Mayweather is one of the best boxers ever. And honestly, I said one because I told you earlier, I believe Muhammad Ali is a lot better than him. And to be honest, I'm going to say this. In this fight, he should have knocked Logan out. There's no way. He should have actually done some damage. I know he had some good hits, but honestly, in the fourth round is when I expected for Logan to be knocked out by Floyd Mayweather. And whether it's technical knockout or knockout, I honestly didn't mind which one of the two it was. I just knew there was going to be a knockout right there, right then. But we were all bamboozled when it came to that, because honestly, he just went to distance. He went to distance with Logan Paul, and that's something none of us expected. Honestly, we all expected Floyd Mayweather to honestly beat up Logan Paul, or better yet, knock him out. That is what we all expected him to do. But guess what? He didn't do that. Instead, he went the distance. And honestly, fair play. Fair play. You went the distance. But even though you technically didn't win, and neither did Logan, honestly, what I saw, I would have given the win when it comes to the fighting part to Floyd Mayweather. But when it came to, honestly, who won, I would say Logan did. Logan won this because he went to distance. Honestly, that is the reason why. Yes, maybe in the boxing part, yeah, I say Floyd Mayweather won that, even though there wasn't an official winner. I think if there was an official winner, at least we would have known Floyd would have won that. We all knew that, honestly, we were going to see someone get knocked out. Even though we didn't, we all expected that. And honestly, I'm going to say this, Floyd Mayweather, get it together, because you, even though you're old, you're not that old. You should have been able to knock him out, even though he's taller and heavier than you. You're like 155 pounds, he's 189. It doesn't matter. Weight does matter when it comes to boxing at times, but not with you, because you fought in every single weight class, if I'm not mistaken. And you've beaten every single opponent in every one of those weight classes. So you should have 100% won this fight. Now, on fight day, I actually put up this tweet where I had said that I want to know who you think's gonna win, Logan, Floyd, or is it gonna be a draw? I am shouting out all 8% of you who actually voted that Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather was gonna go into a draw, because guess what? I didn't even think that would be possible. But to be honest, fair play on y'all, and honestly, it was 67% for Mayweather. That just says it all. The majority said that Logan was going to lose, and the minority said they were going to tie. And what happened? The tie won. And honestly, I did expect them to be knocked out, Logan Paul, in the 4th round. I believe it was the 4th round. I have another tweet right here, which I did also that day, so you can see them right there. But to be honest, it was a decent fight when it came to the fighters, but not when it came to the people trying to get entertained. Because honestly, this fight wasn't just good enough for that. Because honestly, we expected someone to get knocked out. Even though we didn't get someone knocked out, hey, at least we got some good fights. And honestly, we got decent fights as well. And honestly, I'm going to say this. Fair play to Logan and Floyd Mayweather. Now, that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tweet me any video ideas. Also, tell me down in the comments below, who do you think should have won and who do you think should have lost? Tell me down in the comments below. Now, like this video if you liked it. Subscribe and hit the notification if you want more videos. And I'll see you guys next time.